What's up, everyone? It's Razmataz87 from the Game Timers here, and today I am starting a brand new series that I have been planning for a couple weeks now. I've been trying to dig into it and figure out exactly how I'm going to do it, how I'm going to make it happen, and today I can finally start it off and tell you about it. What this series is going to be is a breakdown from beginning to end of the entire Star Wars canon storyline. So basically what I'm going to do is every individual piece of media, so whether it be novels, comic books, movies, TV shows, etc., that there is out there that Disney has called Star Wars canon, I will be watching it, reading it, whatever the case is, and then reviewing it, giving a quick synopsis of exactly what it is, and letting everyone out there know from the very first, most earliest piece of material that there is until the very, very end. That it does include all the movies, so eventually as I get to the movies, I will give you my opinion and piece on the movies, and that also does include the actual TV shows. I have actually never watched every single thing and read every single thing, so it's going to be fun for me too, because I love Star Wars so much that I can't see straight. And I'm actually surprised I haven't dug a little deeper into this myself personally, because there are certain characters I adore in Star Wars, and then there's certain characters that I'm not a very, very big fan of. You'll obviously see that as we go. I'm going to try to keep an open mind across all of this stuff, but the most important thing is I just want to bring in as much as I can and learn as much as I can about Star Wars, because I already know a lot. I love Star Wars. I absolutely love it. So before we get any further into this, though, if y'all don't mind, make sure if you want to see more of this, obviously let me know by liking this video. You can comment down below. Obviously subscribe if you haven't, and click and ding the bell, and most importantly share the video. Let it be known, let everyone know about this, because I'm literally going to start, if you're interested at all in learning about Star Wars canon in general, but don't know where to start and don't know where to end, this is going to be the series for you. So to get things started, we're going to start off with what is said to be the earliest piece of canon right now. Now, the only thing that's a little tricky about this individual piece is we don't really know when it takes place. And then on top of that, it takes place over, 40, 50 plus years. I mean, it takes place over a long distance here. So what this is the book started off as an audiobook, but now they actually released a physical book. It's Star Wars Dooku Jedi Lost by Cavan Scott. I might be pronouncing that name wrong. Cavan or Cavan Scott. So I apologize if I pronounce it wrong. So this originally started off as an audiobook, and now they have released an actual physical book to it. I've already listened to the audiobook. I listened to it sometime last year, right after it had released. I have actually ordered the physical book, but I am a stickler for having hardback copies, and I haven't gotten it yet. So I'm waiting for it to come in the mail. But seeing how this is like my number one favorite character from the prequels, Count Dooku. That's why I love this book so much. It's so good. I could give a lot of praise about this book in general. But let me delve into what the book is about, and I'm going to actually read you the publisher's summary of the book. So, Darth Tyrannus, the Count of Sereno, the leader of the Separatists, otherwise known as Count Dooku, a red lightsaber unsheathed into the dark. But who he was before he became the right-hand man of the Sith. As Dooku courts a new apprentice, the hidden truth of the Sith Lord's path becomes to light. Dooku's life began as a privileged born within the walls of his family estate, orbited by the funeral moon where the bones of his ancestors lied interred. But soon his Jedi abilities are recognized, and he is taken from his home to be trained in the ways of the Force by the legendary Master Yoda. As he hones in on his power, Dooku rises through the ranks, befriending fellow Jedi's, Sifo Dyas, and taking on a Padawan of his own, the promising and young Qui-Gon Jinn. As he tries to forget about the life he once had, he finds himself drawn into a strange fascination with the Jedi Master Lyn Kostana and her mission as she undertakes for the Order, finding and studying the ancient relics of the Sith, in preparation for their eventual return of the deadliest enemies the Jedi has ever faced. So, caught between the world of the Jedi, his ancient responsibilities of his ancient home, and the alluring power of relics, Dooku struggles to stay in the light even as darkness begins to fall. Honestly, reading that, even after reading the book, that gives me chills. It's so good, though. Basically, obviously, spoiler-free, first and foremost. It's 100% spoiler-free. I can dig into a little bit more spoiler-driven if you'd like to, but we're going to try to keep these spoiler-free because I want y'all to enjoy it the way I did. But this whole book, basically, Count Dooku is not the one actually narrating it. It is actually Asajj Ventress, which is why she's on the cover of the book along with Count. She's actually technically not even in the story. That's the funny thing is she is just narrating the story. Basically, she is being told to go on a mission. Count told her to go on a mission, and by doing so, she finds out these holotapes, and the holotapes is actually what we're living out in the book, and the holotapes are, of course, of Count Dooku in his past. It goes through, Count, the Count on his home planet known as Sereno, growing up with his sister, his family, the craziness that happened with his family, why he honestly became to dislike them a little bit. Also goes into how he became, starting as a Jedi, made, obviously such a big deal of Master Yoda actually being his teacher, because it was a really big deal, and they'll explain that in the book, but it was a big deal that Master Yoda became his master. It also goes into Count Dooku's relationship with Sifo Dyas. For those of you that don't know, the only time we've ever heard the name Sifo Dyas in the movies is in Episode 2. Jedi Master Sifo Dyas is actually the one that started the clones. He's the one that went to, I'm forgetting the name of it now, but he went to the planet to actually start the clones. I gotta find out the name real quick because I cannot believe I'm blanking on the name of the planet. But he is the one that basically went to this planet to actually start the whole idea of the clones. He was the one that actually talked to the race that was on that planet, and that's what got him started. I'm gonna have it in Camino. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I forgot the name of the Camino. But yeah, he's the one that went to Camino and actually started the whole cloning process. So, that's the only time we've ever heard his name in all the movies. So that was pretty cool to go into everything about Sifo Dyas, because Sifo Dyas was honestly something totally different from what they actually portrayed in the book. And I actually liked him in the book, but I was kind of surprised at how different he was. And then, of course, it goes into the Count taking in future Jedi Knight Qui-Gon Jinn and that relationship between the two of them. And then they had introduced a brand new character by the name of Lyn. I think it's Lyn or Lyn Kostana. They only say her last name Kostana. It's a very, very, very interesting relationship between Sifo Dyas, Dooku, and Kostana, because Dooku, well, I'm not going to say. How about this? There's an interesting relationship between the three of those that take place. I'm not going to tell you what it is because we're going to keep it spoiler free. But the whole point of Jedi Master Kostana is she is actually trying to find these ancient relics and Sith relics, and Dooku becomes just fascinated by them, and that's obviously the beginning of him falling, unfortunately, to the dark side. Now, the reason why I think Count Dooku is probably one of my favorite characters in all of Star Wars, especially the prequels, but maybe even all of Star Wars, is only because of Christopher Lee. Christopher Lee was an amazing actor, and if it wasn't for Christopher Lee in Episode 2 and 3, I would not have those rankings on those two movies, which we'll get to those in a little bit, but I wouldn't have those movies ranked so highly because I think he made those movies incredible. But yeah, this is the very beginning. Like I said, we don't know when it takes place, but it takes place before everything else, though, that we know of. And the reason why is because episode 1 is actually pretty early into this timeline. Like, you're going to be surprised at how quickly we get into episode 1. The real point where it gets real stretched out is from episode 2 to episode 3 to episode 4. There's so much packed in between those episodes. It's crazy. But yeah, very, very good book. I'm going to give everything a rating of 1 to 10. And now this rating that I'm going to do is going to be a little different now. So I'm rating it based off of Star Wars. And that's it. Nothing else. So in other words, if you're a Star Wars junkie, this is going to be a 1 to 10 rating just in the universe of Star Wars. And what I mean by that is something that's very down the middle is going to be a 5. And my least favorite piece of all of these is going to be a 1. That being said, just because I rate something a 1 doesn't mean I hate it. I actually probably still love it. It's just compared to the other stuff, it's not as good. So this is solely based in the idea and the mindset of just Star Wars, okay? But for this first piece that we have here, the novel and audiobook, Star Wars Dooku Jedi Lost, I am going to give this book an 8 out of 10. You heard me right, an 8 out of 10. I know we're starting off really, really high on the spectrum here, but I personally think it's that good. Obviously, I'm a little biased. I love Count Dooku, but I think it's a fantastic book. If you have any love for Dooku at all, this is a must read. If you like Dooku or you want to know a little bit more about the turning of the dark side, things like that, then this is you probably need to read this. For everybody else, if you like Star Wars or you're just a Canon junkie like me and you just want to dig deep into Canon stuff, then this is probably a must read. For the rest of us, though, you could probably get by without it, but this is probably, I know we're starting off awfully high here with an 8 out of 10, but this is probably going to be one of my favorite books. But anyways, I really hope you appreciate this look into this. We have I'm actually already halfway through the next item that's coming up, and I've actually already finished several items after this, so thankfully I'll be able to get the next 5 or 6 episodes out pretty quickly. I'm probably only going to do 1 a week for right now, but this is the very first piece. I'm not going to number these also just because if they release something new, aka the High Republic stuff that's coming out next year, I'm not going to say this is episode 1 because obviously the High Republic stuff's going to come before it. For those of you that don't know, High Republic, it takes place thousands of years before the Skywalker the Skywalker saga story even takes place. But anyways, I hope y'all I do appreciate this. I'm gonna try my best to stay on top of this and crank out 1 a week. If y'all don't mind, if you like this video, make sure you leave a like down below. Obviously subscribe if you haven't, because we're gonna try to crank out as many as we can. And if y'all start viewing this up and give it a lot of likes and leave a lot of comments, obviously I have no problem making this channel more Star Wars focused. But anyways, I hope y'all have a great day, and may the Force be with you.